See, that's really, really small. Let's see. It's bigger. Maximize maybe.
And it's all the maximizer we're gonna have on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
It's all good.
It's
What, because you can't see it real big? Or you just want to see what it
really.
look like?
Make sure you live. Okay, it says we're live on Facebook. Yep.
It's not small.
No, it's not small to them. It's small to me, but at least I can see it.
It's not about you seeing it big.
Well,
It's about them being able to see us.
okay. Oh, it's captioning. Oh, that's handy.
Y'all, she don't care about y'all seeing it the right way. She care about her seeing it the right way.
We're trying something new. Hey, TikTok. Hey, how y'all
What's up,
doing?
y'all?
Hello. Hey, Mike and
Trying to get y'all
Mariana.
adjusted on here. See if we can make this a little bit better for y'all.
It's just hard for me to know if
What?
people are watching here. But I guess I won't worry about it.
Well,
It's
you got it
time.
there though, so
Yeah.
should be good. Just
Yeah,
get it going.
hopefully so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Hey. All right. All right. All right. All right. Hello. Y'all come on in here. Hopefully, I see my TikTokers are already in here. Y'all are always on top of all the things. So I appreciate that. Oh, hit that comment thing, babe. Maybe I can see if whenever people
Yeah.
are commenting. Let me see what that does.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. And it'll display on the screen. I believe. Okay. All right. Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Come in. I will not know probably until afterwards if people are watching on our personal pages and on Love Jones coaching page.
You know what? It has Facebook up there, so it's 3 Facebook. links up
Okay.
there, so I
Yeah.
think
Okay. So we're good. All right.
Ooh, she's so analytical.
I just wasn't sure. So hello. Thank you guys for joining us. The first thing that I have to say. Okay. We struggle with this sometimes, but it's okay. The first thing that I want to make sure that we say to you guys is thank you. Man, we've had such an outpouring of calls and book purchases. And for those on TikTok, you can now get it in the shop. So you can go right over to the TikTok shop and buy the book. We'll talk about it a little bit here in a little. We'll talk about it more here in a little bit. But we've had so many people who were interested in booking sessions with us. So many people who reached out to say thank you because what we talked about was helpful to them. And so we'll be coming live to you guys every Sunday at 7:30, just to make sure that we are having conversations that can bring joy, authenticity, hopefully build stronger relationships with your family, because that's something that's really important, you know. And so I want to, anything you got to say, baby?
Yeah, all these conversations are not going to make you happy, you know.
Sure indeed.
Much like in our individual relationships, you know, all conversations don't necessarily mean that everybody's going to be smiling. But at the end of the day, it's not about necessarily that, but bringing closure to any kind of dispute and understanding how to work through them, so it's something that Mia and I do daily, work through any disagreement or things that we may not consider something that we 100% agree on. But at the same time, it's not a fight, it's not
No,
a
never
battle
that.
zone, but so understand, this is heartfelt, our relationships are heartfelt. Anything that's meaningful that we care about is heartfelt, and emotions are going to be there regardless of who you are. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it. We actually had a discussion in the shower the other day that I thought was, very relative to where we're going with things today. And I'll let you introduce that conversation.
Yeah, and the first thing I'll say is we take a shower together every single day, every evening, no matter what. And so that's just kind of our time to reconnect, um, catch up on what's been going on. It's uninterrupted. No
Mm-hmm.
kids are coming in or knocking or wanting anything. And so that's just kind of our time. And one thing I saw on, I believe, Instagram, it may have been on Facebook, a young lady said, I am not going to tiptoe around a person's triggers and trauma. I need them to be healed before
Before
they
they
get
get
to
to me.
me. And, I thought about that. And for me, I was like, I don't know if I understand why someone would think that or feel like, hey, I don't want somebody with a lot of baggage or a
Mm-hmm.
lot of trauma coming to me. But at the same time, we all have triggers and trauma that we have gone through and we still go through. We don't necessarily get over it, but we get through it. And so one of the things that is important always is to be honest and understand what your triggers are, what your traumas are, and also know for sure that the person that you're talking about, they're not the only one with them. You probably have some triggers and traumas too, right?
Yeah, all of us are damaged in some way, or another.
Yeah.
Um, Coming into a new relationship, no matter who you are, there is going to be some kind of baggage
Mm-hmm.
because your memory ain't wiped of the last situation you were in no more than the person that you're newly introduced to.
Right.
So for that statement to be made, we really have to be careful of how we pose different things because, if we're expecting people to be perfect by the time they get to us, you're probably going to be by yourself or you're going to be moving through lovers
Right.
all through life. Um, I know one of the songs, one of the poems of America, "Bring me your tired, bring me your poor, bring me,"
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the same way looking into a relationship. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally coming into somebody who may have been tired,
Right.
no matter how long they've been single after, a relationship or,
Mm-hmm.
damage is something you don't necessarily get over, but you learn how to deal with those particular things that brought you harm or, didn't necessarily make you feel complete or whole in that situation that made you have to decide to go left.
Right.
But, we need to understand that we were humans living a full life before you got to that person.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So unless that person, no matter if that person is going through counseling,
Mm-hmm.
coaching,
Mm-hmm.
therapy,
Mm-hmm.
those are just mechanisms to teach you how to handle the things that you're struggling with or have struggled with. And,
Right.
but it's not something that remedies your pain,
Right.
Or,
Well, I'm going to use an example that happened earlier this week. It was raining out, and we've had some construction on the interstate where we live in Nashville. But it was raining, and Corey was driving, and it felt like we hydroplaned twice. So for me, I take a step back. My father was killed in a car accident when I was 21. I'm currently 52, so long time ago. So when you're talking about trauma, you still have it,
mm-hmm,
right? But you figure out a way to get through it. And so in that instance, when that car started hydroplaning, the first thing I did was this, and it scared me so bad. It scared y'all. I'm not lying. It terrified me. Well, the next day, was it the next day or 2 days later?
Just a couple of days
Yeah,
later.
a couple of days later, Corey said to me, "Hey, you need to go see a therapist. You need to go get a counselor because I'm concerned with how you responded when you thought we hydroplaned, because we didn't hydroplane. We were never in danger. They've been doing construction. Road is lopsided.
Right.
Whatever." And so I had to talk to him and say, well, listen, I've actually gone to counseling. I've gone to therapy specifically for and about the loss of my dad and the fears that I have around rain, driving, all of the things, right? And so he was like, okay. And I said, I need to walk you through what was happening. Because what you saw was me in distress because I was like this. But for me, I was going, it's okay. It's okay. Calm down. This is not a real threat. I'm having a conversation with myself, but he ain't a part of it. It's just a conversation that I'm having with myself. But as soon as I told him, hey, I've gone through therapy. This is how I was dealing with it. This is what that looks like. He was like, oh, okay, well, you keep doing what works for you, right? But I still said to him, I need to make sure that what I was doing didn't look that crazy, for lack of a better word. I want to make sure. And he was like, no, what you came up with, however your therapist and you came up with something, if it's working, and move on. I say that because that could have been a bigger argument. It could have been a bigger thing with me trying to defend a trauma, and you didn't tiptoe around it. You went straight to it. Hey, what's going on? Something is not okay for your care for me. But sometimes we are so, what's the word I'm looking for, baby? Just so sensitive and defensive, about whatever triggers and whatever traumas we have, that it can lead us into this horrible situation that it didn't have to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we think about relationships, when we go into those relationships, your person has no idea what they are unless you know how to communicate what they are, what things bother you.
Right.
You talked to me about things that trigger you. I'm loud right now, but that's a trigger for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. So, and what's crazy is loudness may trigger, but I'm loud as hell. So we have to be conscious about what a trigger is, but also asking yourself, do you do the same thing? And how are you managing that? Self accountability with these things is very important. People that know me know Jones is loud. Jones gonna laugh loud, he gonna clown, he gonna do this. Jones is loud.
Right.
But over time, I've learned how to control my volume because it's been something that's been made aware of for so long now. So I can't keep ignoring it. Right? Like it's not a thing.
Right.
So if I'm going to expect people to be okay with volume, I got to be self-aware. And also, if I'm going to ask for someone else to be aware of their volume, I have to be self-aware of mine. So it's a give and take with this stuff,
It is, but when you told me that, it made me more aware of it, right?
Yeah.
And so if we are in a situation and I recognize that my volume is going up and up, and let me be clear, I'm not even talking about fights, like arguments, because we don't do that. We don't have those scream matches or arguments, but I could be excited and get loud, or I can just be trying to tell him what happened in my day and get loud, but I notice it. And immediately I start trying to bring the volume down a little bit, because it's not me tiptoeing around his triggers or tiptoeing around your traumas. It's me caring enough about the honesty you've given me already, the cheat code you've given me already to be a better me for you. I'm just mindful of it.
And I think that's one thing we have to put first, It's the mindfulness of our people, our person.
Yes.
You know, and you used perfect phrase there, the cheat code. You know, man, if I know the up, down, down, left, right, BA select start to get 30 lives, man, I'm gonna go on here and use the cheat code. You know, but you know, we also talked about that before. Is it's not okay that you talk to other people better than you talk to your person, or as careful with your words with other people than you are with your person. You know, I think that's the first place you use that type of care. You know, with being mindful about how we approach or how we discuss, or you know, how do we approach the any conversation that we have. And one thing that I can appreciate about us is we don't tiptoe. No, you know, there's something that we need to discuss. We put it on the table, but it's open. And if she don't like something that I'm saying, or it's not hitting her ears well, or the way that she wants it, it's not a reaction of malice. And me neither. Or if she's saying something to me that I'm like, what? You know, she'll be like, listen, I'm not coming at you. You know, let me finish. Right. So I have to digress and put my emotions to the side, because this is something that she wants to talk about or needs to express. But if I shut that expression down, now I'm one of those people that are saying, I need you to be fixed before you get to me. That's not fair, you know, because now I'm not giving anybody grace to grow. Grace to heal, grace to move forward from. I'm basically containing and bottling up whatever is making her feel the way she's feeling before that discussion, and now shut her down again to the point where she don't want to talk about it, or she'll shut me down where I don't want to talk about it. So to say that someone needs to be fixed before you get to me is such an unfair statement, because I may never be fixed. But how do you care about me to make sure that men, that wound don't continue to be open? It don't mean that I don't remember that wound or see the scar that's remaining from anything that I've gone through. It's there, right? But you're not taking a knife and tearing off the stitches. Right. You're not reopening the wound. So we need to rephrase that, and we need to really be conscious and really have an open mind about that type of feeling, that someone needs to be repaired before they get to you. You know, and what does repair look like? Repair looks like I'm taking the steps to get there. You know, I want to know if my heart is feeling this way, and I've noticed that I'm reacting to people this way when I meet them, or they may say one thing that made me think about an old girl, or one thing that made me reminded me of something the old boy said, right? I want to be able to not react the same way. I don't want that trigger, you know what I'm saying, to be pulled. And now I got immediate fight or flight. Right.
And you know, another thing that's very important as we're talking about this subject matter in particular, you know, your trauma can be a reason, but it's not an excuse for poor behavior. And so I want to be clear about that, because sometimes people may hear what we say and say, oh, okay, well, I can just weaponize my trauma, right? I can use that as a way, like a get out of jail free card. Every time something is going on, I'm like, my trauma, my triggers. You got
to fall back.
You got a fallback plan. So it's important to know, yes, we need to observe, recognize, understand, try to work through things with our partners, but we also need to be aware that there are some humans in this world who might use their trauma in a way to weaponize it against the people around them.
Wow, that's big.
And try to use that as a reason, as an excuse for that poor behavior. So what I'll tell you, because you have heard people say it before, well, that's just who I am. And when they say it to me, I'm like, well, who you are is not something I want to be around.
Hell, I think I've said that before to people. That's just who I am.
Right.
Don't mean it's not true. But it don't mean it's an excuse.
No.
You know, and that's something to think about.
You know, yeah. I mean, for me, you know, I think a lot of it, we always come back to that authenticity, that honesty. and telling people about your history, telling people about the things that you've gone through, good and bad.
Mhm.
You know, it's important to know those things because it gives you a baseline. But when people are talking to you about their background, their past, their history, and things that they've gone through, something to me that's very important to ask would be, how have you worked through that?
Mhm.
What does that look like for you? How does that make you feel? You know, just questions like, what do you do now to remedy that? If you tell me, hey, baby, when people yell, I feel a certain type of way.
Right.
Okay, so since you know that you feel a certain type of way, what have you found is a remedy for it? What have you found that's helpful? What have you found to be able to work through that on your own? Or what have you found that I need to know about that can help you in those moments? So you need to be aware of your trauma. You need to be aware of your triggers.
Mhm.
And you also need to own it's your responsibility
Mhm.
for you to be able to identify this works for me and this doesn't.
Mhm.
It's not your partner's responsibility to do that because
Wow.
I don't know.
You know, that's big, because I think a lot of times we put too much weight on someone else being responsible for our actions.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's not your responsibility to take ownership of my action.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's my action, so that I own the title.
Right. For
You
sure. Mhm.
You know, but as far as the responsibility that you own is checking some of the actions that aren't suitable.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Mhm.
like the old saying is, you teach people how to treat you.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
So if you continue to allow things to go unchecked,
Mhm.
then they're going to spiral out of control. But
Right.
there's a way to check things.
Mhm.
And there's also a way to accept the checking.
Mhm.
Trust your person,
Yes.
because you should trust that this person ain't trying to hurt you,
100%.
right? But just bringing some correction.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't a stranger off the street that's correcting something that I'm doing.
No.
This is my wife.
Mhm.
This is the person I chose to be in my life. So why am I not gonna trust what she's bringing to the table for me to recognize?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be palatable when that checking happens. And I
Right.
think that's where we start to, misconstrue things.
Mhm.
That it doesn't, that everything is gonna be a rosy feeling when somebody corrects something that's happening.
Right.
A lot of people can't handle constructive criticism.
Mhm.
There's always going to be some type of criticism.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily criticism in your relationship, it's correction.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Coming from both of you guys.
Right.
If you walking out the house and you got a clown suit on, ain't your wife supposed to tell you, hey, bruh, Blair,
Where you going?
where you going with that?
You're doing.
You know what I'm saying? You are representing me, And ladies, when y'all walking out the house going on girls' night, and I see that little, what you call them, pongs, hanging out them shorts. Hey, yo, where you taking my meat? You know what I'm saying? You showing my meat. Hey, get in there. Yeah, you doing too much. Girl, you gotta get in there and put on those sweatpants.
Oh, speaking of sweatpants, when
know?
you walking around.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
it's just sweatpants.
I'm just saying.
It's the Lord's gift.
I'm just saying.
It's the Lord's gift. Hey. So, but it's those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop being so offended.
Yeah.
And everybody's got their day. Today I may be able to handle some things.
Right.
But tomorrow, I might be tender, as Dwayne would want me to say on there. I'm trying to be real good on this platform. I want to say what I want to say. TikTok, let me say it.
Don't get us canceled.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get canceled. But fellas, we gotta quit tender icking.
Right.
And you fill in the blank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Quit being so tender ick. And that's a real thing. You know, fellas, we are tender sometimes. We can be softer than our ladies sometimes, but let that be known. Today I just wasn't feeling it. So when you said this, it made me feel some kind of way, but baby, you right. Go back and correct the stuff, man. If you know she right, just say you was right.
Right.
So let's not be part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Let's be part of the solution. And what was our topic? I'm all off my damn topic.
You're not. No, triggers and traumas. You're right.
If we know what triggers are, man, let's stop being petty. You know, let's
Yes.
stop being petty. If you know,
That's what I
that
get.
damn trigger. It's,
Oh.
it's that trigger finger. She's like, yeah, all right, boo.
That's
That's a funny bone. but
Woo!
you know,
I can't even do it.
What?
It hurt like a son of a gun. Okay, there we go.
okay.
It hurts though, for real.
You were trying to give me that?
I
Was that the kudos?
It wasn't. It was a poke in your trigger.
Oh, quit. That's what you get. You know, quit poking. You poking the bear knowing
Yes.
the reaction is coming. Ladies, if you know what you're doing is going to get a reaction, if you just want some attention, tell them, babe, I want some attention. But don't start poking and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just say, babe, I want some attention.
Right.
You know, don't be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Stop pulling the trigger, because as soon as he react or as soon as she react, now it's a thing.
Right. And also, when somebody says, if you walk in the house and you clearly are not okay,
Mhm.
like you in a mood, right?
Mhm.
If I say, hey, baby, you good? And you give me that, that's what it sounds like when he's not good. I will ask you, you know,
I'll
you
give
want to talk
somebody
about it?
$100 if they can
The sum of it.
transcribe what I just said.
I would have looked. I should have looked over here.
And I mean it. If anybody on one of these platforms can say, I know exactly what he just said, and you can tell me what I said, you got $100 coming to your cash app.
Oh, hey,
Because y'all done
Christy.
said it before.
Hey, Chris Creech. I know you're Christy Lee now, but you will forever be Christy Creech to me. We graduated high school together.
Oh,
Like,
long. Sorry.
It was not that long. Don't try. Don't try.
So,
But you know, if you have that mood and I ask what's wrong, and you say I want to talk about it right
Mhm.
now, then I need to respect that you don't want to talk about it right now.
Right,
And the
sure.
other thing that I need to know, or I should know, is whether I'm the problem or not.
and that's good, because we do good at that.
Yeah,
You know, we don't own something that don't belong to us.
that don't belong to me.
If she walk in and she just walking one room to the next, doing
Mhm.
whatever, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
No.
I ain't do nothing. Okay? So I'm not finna own it. I'm gonna move
Right.
out the way,
Right.
because I know sooner or later she gonna be like, let me tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? She gonna go into it, but I'm not gonna be walking on eggshells,
Mm-mm.
right? And she's doing her thing to suppress or get past whatever's going on in her day.
And you don't have to walk on eggshells. I've told you, I'm not, you know, I've given you or said to you, had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say you gave me a bad day, nothing. I had a bad day.
But even if you don't see it,
If you understand that, I'm not coming for you, so don't come for me.
mm-hmm.
Just leave me alone. It's not about you. You know good and well, and this is for everybody out there. If you have done something to run afoul of your person, right? You did something to upset them. You know you did it. So when they come in mad, then that's when you should be trying to figure out, I need to fix this. But if you know good and doggone well that you hadn't done anything, then why are you following behind your person like, well, why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk to me? I'm just trying to be here for you.
Trigger.
I'm just trying to help.
Trigger.
I'm trying to help.
Trigger.
Why don't you talk to me?
So we watched a little cartoon
Yes.
last night,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in bed,
Mm-hmm.
and the lady says something to her husband, and he asks, well, what happened?
And she said,
Let me finish.
let me finish. Let me
He was
finish.
like- he was like, whoa, I
Mhm.
just asked what happened. You started talking. So
Mhm.
I asked, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And so then she says, that's what the problem is. You keep cutting me off every time I'm trying to say something. And it had nothing to do with them,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm.
Or maybe it did, but
Mhm.
we never got to it because she went on a whole trip,
Right.
right? And at the end of it all, the brother was really just trying to console,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and give her some comfort and say, hey, I got all listening ears open. You know, I'm actively listening to you to be able to properly respond to however you need me to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And it just went left.
And you know, if to me, if I want to talk, I will. If I don't want to talk, I won't. And I don't play any games trying to get you to guess what's going on with me.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. Because sometimes a person may say, you didn't even ask me how my day was, or you didn't even ask me what was wrong. If you want to talk about what's going on with you, ask your person.
Speak
Stop
up.
playing these games with people and wanting them to guess what it is you're going through. If you don't have a reason or one that you want to share at the moment, just say, honey, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Mhm.
And when you are ready to talk about it, say, hey, I would love to talk about it now. I feel like I'm in a better headspace so I can have this conversation. Years and years ago, I will never forget it. Corey came in and he was hotter than fish grease. I don't remember who, I don't know who did it. I don't even remember. I mean, this was years ago. And he was slamming the doors, yelling, huffing. And this was, I mean, we were fairly new as a couple.
Mhm.
That was my first time seeing any of that, the fact that he could even get that mad,
Broke
right?
my damn table on accident.
He was hot. He was big mad. And so he looked over at me and was like, what you got to say? And I said, nothing. Because this ain't about me. I just got here. Like, you ain't mad at me.
And walked on.
And walked on out the room. I was like, you gonna do all of that yourself. That didn't have nothing to do with me.
But you know,
I think that's when I got him. I think that's in that moment is when he was like, yeah, I like her. I like her.
Because you didn't try to own nothing that didn't belong to you. You know what I mean? You were like, shit, I'm finna go on and happily go on throughout my days.
Yes.
That ain't got nothing to do with me, player. When
Right.
if you want to talk
If you
about
wanna
it,
talk about it.
I'm here for
I'm
it.
here.
But if
But
not, don't be shooting no bullets at me.
right, I
You
didn't
know?
do it. I didn't do it.
You know, stop killing each other, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we know what the triggers are, you know, and that's the biggest thing about knowing your person. Chapter 1 in the book, you know, nonverbal communication.
Mm-hmm.
Know your person well enough to pick up on the signs of the room.
Mhm.
You know, if the
Mhm.
room, boy, I tell y'all, what, I don't know if all y'all got kids, but our little guy wants so badly to be on this camera with us right now.
does.
He done threw a ball down the stairs. Let me tell you how sweet he is, though. Me and my guy went to the game earlier today. Go Titans, and y'all see it. You know, we sorry. So don't come for me. We sorry. But, we going today. But we had a great day. Me and my little guy. We go to Publix, grab some fruit, and he said, hey, Dad, Mimi like flowers.
He did.
I said, yes, you do. Which ones you want? You know, I picked up some flowers and brought her a whole thing of roses. Right?
Beautiful roses.
Ran in the house. Didn't even give me a chance to come in the house with him to give them to him. He was like, I got this, bro. You stay here. I'm gone. But he's so itching to be on this camera with us right now, man. He throwing balls down the stairs. If I call him right now, I promise you, in the corner of that step right there. You know? But anyway, we're going to keep on going. So if y'all hear some noise in the background, it's that guy.
It is that guy. It is. Oh, by the way, with my roses, he told me, I asked him what they were for, and he said, because you're the best bonus mom in the world ever.
That dude, Mr. Casanova.
He is. He is.
Casanova.
He is. He's perfect.
So,
anyway.
You know,
nonverbal communication.
Nonverbal communication. You know your person. You know, listen, observe, take note. It ain't hard. You know, and stop calling your relationship work. Nobody wants to go to work.
Work is not fun. Even if you like the job, it's still work.
Nobody wants to go to work. So stop considering your relationship work.
Right.
Stop using the word hard when it comes to your relationship. Relationships ain't easy. Why? Is it you, Jesus? You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful with how we position things and how we frame it up. You know what we got?
No, I was trying to see something. Okay, never mind.
Look, you're doing too much.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So when we know what the triggers are, and you know your person, they don't have to say a word for you to not understand. Leave them alone for a minute.
Read that room.
And don't own something that don't belong to you. Because we are gonna not go into battle with one another for no reason when all I gotta do is just give it a second. Right? So those triggers, which I would say a visible scar,
Mm-hmm.
We know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's either you're going to reopen that scar,
Mm-hmm.
pull that trigger,
Mm-hmm.
and let the blood flow,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to continue to mend it. And the more you mend that scar starts to fade. It doesn't mean it's going to go away, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you see it less and less. And it
Mm-hmm.
gets to a point where you see it and it don't bother you whatsoever,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's be conscious about these triggers
Yeah.
and stop expecting people to be perfect.
Right.
You know, we're missing out on great opportunities with great people to be
Yeah.
in a relationship with, because we got this notion in our head that they need to be fixed by the time they get to us.
And then the people who say that, they not even fixed.
They ain't even married. They ain't even got no person.
Right. Like,
And they won't have no person if you thinking everybody's supposed to be fixed or healed before you get. Listen, man.
mm-hmm. Speak on it, preacher.
Yeah, I will. You know, dude, we are very fortunate to find people that accept us
Mm-hmm.
in our broken state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say it all the time, man. Be careful with each other's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you drop that glass, I don't care how many pieces you find, you will never put that back together whole the way it was before it was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's each and every one of us. We will never be back to the way we were before we were broken.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about being put back together is 9 times out of 10, you're back stronger than you were before.
Mm-hmm. You can function for
You
sure.
can function, but
Mm-hmm.
don't be so strong to the point where now you're callous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We will miss out on opportunities of love. We will miss out on
Right.
opportunities of happiness,
Mm-hmm.
of peace.
Yep.
I would have missed Mia first if I wasn't honest up front
Mm-hmm.
and told her I'm a dirtbag. I'm a product of adultery. I am warped. I am not okay.
You did, baby. You told me all of that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have never been faithful in any relationship I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a runner. I will ditch you and be out of it. Okay?
He's
So-
a runner. He's a track star.
Track star. And then he realized I was running. I'm saying to myself, I'm through with it. Man, you ran.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you ran.
Mm-hmm.
You ran from something that could have been salvaged, something that could have been fixed, or something you could have helped,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I lost and broke people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Left some broken pieces out there,
Mm-hmm.
right? When all I could have done was say, hey, let's sit down and really talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can get somewhere with this,
Mhm.
right? Because you're broken, I'm broken. I want you to be my gorilla glue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like my gorilla glue, her, is strong. You know,
Yeah.
I continue to say, I feel safe. Mia makes me feel safe and protected because of the way she cares, because of the way that she allows me to be who I am, because I am broken. I was not fixed or healed when I got to her. Was I in a healing state? Of course.
Right.
Right?
Of course.
Of course. But healed? Man.
It is never ending.
No,
Right? Because
no.
just as soon as you let your ego tell you, man, I'm over that.
You're lying.
I'm over that. Something can happen. Something will happen that'll set that off,
Trigger.
and then you back in that spot again. Right? You're
Yes.
back in that spot again. I had to tell you when I was triggered in the car that day.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't afraid of something happening to me. That never crossed my mind. I was afraid of something happening to you.
Oh, you love me so much.
I do.
Ain't that something?
I do. You're my person.
Shit, G.
I am, but you're my baby. And you know,
Yeah.
the thought of that type of loss is more than my
Devastating.
yeah, I can't
Right.
even think that. I can't talk. I just won't even entertain such a notion, right? And when I think about, are you healing or are you a hindrance?
Mm.
Right? Because we talked trigger and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I also want us to talk healer or hindrance.
Mhm.
If you are a healer, you do not push. You don't.
You don't poke your
You don't
pride.
poke the. You don't poke the dragon.
Right.
You don't do that. And if you're a hindrance, that means you stand in front of the healing. You stand in front of the healing that could be there.
Right.
You're disrupting what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I love that the first thing you said to me was, hey, you might want to go back to therapy or go to therapy and see what's going on. I love that you've gone to therapy. I love that therapy is such a strong presence around us and with us. And we both, I think it might have been earlier this week or last week, I was telling Corey, I have always been what I considered a pretty good communicator. But man, when I went to counseling,
you learn so much more.
I learned so much more about the right way to speak.
Right.
You know, people, especially Black people specifically, you know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to the Lord in prayer.
Right.
You know, if that's your faith, absolutely do that. But sometimes you need tangible tactics.
Right.
Tangible things that you can say, okay, yeah, you're okay. You're safe. He told you that he didn't hydroplane. You got to trust that. Everything's okay. I wouldn't have that without therapy. I wouldn't know what to do in those moments without therapy.
Right.
Had I just gone to church and that's it, I would have been sitting there praying and crying.
Right.
And really, really sitting, it's making you feel like, okay, you are not okay. You're not okay. You're not okay. Right. It's those type of things that are important. You should be a person that allows your person to be vulnerable. Right. Sometimes men will say, why are you so emotional? Right. That's what they'll say to their women. Stop being so emotional. Well, women are.
Right.
And you know what? Quiet as it's kept, so are men.
Yeah.
It manifests in different types of ways, but we're not robots. We all have emotions. We all have vulnerabilities. Sometimes we're afraid to show them. Sometimes we don't trust the person enough to show them, but we all have them, right? And I'm not talking about a crybaby always on some craziness, but I should be able to be vulnerable and be expressive and say, baby, I ain't okay today.
Right.
And I just need you to hold me for a minute. I don't need you to say a thing. I just need you to hold me, because that's right here is where I feel the most safe, the most protected.
Right. You know, I like that you brought the fact of stop praying about things all the time. Get active.
Or only.
Right. You know, get active. You know, in your faith, whatever that may be, is only going to give as much as you give. Right.
What is faith without works?
It's dead. Right. You know, quit getting on guys' nerves with that.
With something you ought to be able to handle.
Right. First off, you're capable.
Yes.
You're capable of changing the outcome of things yourself.
Right.
Right. If you know what these issues are and you choose not to do anything about it, that's a you issue. That's not a God issue. That's not your partner issue. That's not your kids issue, your community. That's a you issue.
Right.
Okay. Get it together. And if you feel like you don't know what's wrong, it's time to go to the next steps. Therapy.
Yes.
Let's not ignore these things. Therapy. Okay. So get off your knees with praying. Stop wasting those tears with praying and get active. If you are really meaningful about any prayer that you send up to whatever deity you choose, then you should also be ready for the work.
Yes.
And that work begins with you.
It does. It does. And you know, I was thinking the other day, we usually when we get clients, it's because something done happened.
Yeah.
Right. If we get a coaching client, 9 times out of 10, it's a mess.
Something went down.
Some went down, and now here they come, and they're ready.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not. It's not at all. But I got to thinking one day, every time I go to the gym, hadn't been since we got married. I wanted to fit into that dress and look cute, but I have not been back to the gym. But I sent you a workout. I want us to start trying.
Why I got to do the workout?
Because we should do it together. We did it together for the wedding.
I like
big butts that I cannot like. No, it's just, it seems like a good place.
You know, she's trying to force a workout on me.
But listen, Listen, babe.
I go to the gym and do my thing consistently every week.
I know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I just keep doing what I do until I want to do something else? I'm old.
I know.
I don't want to be hurt. I don't care about lifting the gym no more.
I know, but I think it'll be a fun activity. But anyway, I digress. Every time that I've gone to the gym, there are far more fit people in the gym than it is people who are trying to gain, lose weight, whatever.
Unless you're Planet Fitness.
Right. But if like even then, I'm not. So
you can't serve Tootsie Rolls and pizza at the gym. That's not encouraging the right things, man. And that's just a word. That was a.
We don't need that part right now.
My bad.
What I'm saying is,
keep going to Planet Fitness. It makes you feel good.
The people that are going to the gym many times are the people who are already in really good shape. But they keep going because they're trying to maintain what they have.
True.
They're trying to extend their life. They're trying to have a more fulfilling life because they're healthy and they feel like moving. They feel like going. They feel like doing those things. And it made me think about the people who we get, you know, and the clients that we get. And we've had people call before and say, I'm not sure that me and my person need to come, or we've heard a lot of folks say, I'm single right now. I don't have a person, so I don't know if I need to come and get coaching with you guys. But I will tell you, absolutely, you should. You should come if your relationship is fantastic.
Yep.
You should go to coaching if you're single and you don't have a relationship quite yet, so that when you get that relationship, you're ready for it. If you're doing well, get you a little bit of maintenance,
right.
You know, just to make sure you're keeping it spicy. You are still being as thoughtful as you always have been. Invest in your relationship like you would invest in anything else. Do go buy the book because it's really good and we had so many good reviews on it. I'm so excited about that.
And you know, you said something right there. You know, when it's going good and you want to spice it up, come holler at me.
Yeah.
Got something for you.
Yes, we do.
You know, I mean, and we're so nervous about saying certain things. When I say dungeon, oh my God.
Yeah, so it takes people.
People be like, oh my God, he's in there with chains and whips. Yes. Yes, I am. So much to the point where my mother-in-law is still feeling funny about me having a whip.
Yeah, you did have a whip at the wedding.
Yes. Turn my baby on though. So now let's spice it up, man. Let's keep it spicy. You know, and those can be triggers too. You know what I mean? And being careful with your person in regards to things that are introduced in the bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta have conversations, y'all. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, but what I will say in the context of what you're saying, if you have trauma, if you have triggers, if you have
so you just gonna go
all of that. No, I'm just saying, no, I'm not. But what I will say is it is really important to communicate all of those things to the people that you are in a relationship with, the people you're in community with that way. You have to be able to identify it. You have to be able to say what's going on. And I will tell you again and again and again, we are not counselors. We are not therapists. We are coaches. So we coach you forward. Counselors and therapists, they'll let you look back.
Yeah.
If I ask you to look back, it's just for context, right? I just need context of why we are where we are at this starting point so that we can move forward. And we really want the people that we touch, whether you get the Sunday free coaching that we're doing every Sunday at 7:30 and pulling some things out of what we have to say.
Keep going.
Or, you know, whether you're actually clients of ours. I will tell you that it's super duper important to find people and to be willing to invest in your relationships so that you can have the type of relationships that you want. We hope to come to you guys every Sunday at 7:30, same time each time. Right. But there is a couple of things I will say. We invested in this enough to get something that we could stream everywhere at the same time so we wouldn't be looking in 5 different places.
Right.
after we end this live, I'll let you know if we're going to use it again next week, because I don't like that I can't see any interaction.
I don't mind looking at all the cameras, man.
I don't mind it either. And I need the interaction. I need the feedback.
All right. So we said that we were going to read a couple of things and give y'all some homework too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start there, and we're going to go. So last week we did speak to y'all about nonverbal communication in the book.
That's day one.
That's day one.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to talk about day two in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So which one you want to do first? Do this and then give them the homework?
Yeah.
So y'all got homework.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Y'all got homework because we got to get y'all commenting on these lives. Okay.
We might not see it.
No, and
That's
it
what
sucks.
I'm
I can't
saying.
see it. So even if I
crazy.
can't see it right now, we will answer. Okay. We will answer the questions. So, all right. So day two in the book is sensual massage. All right. So each day, so a 30-day guide of intimacy. So this day two, we're talking about sensual massage. So welcome to day two of your 30-day intimacy guide. Today we delve into the art of sensual massage, an intimate practice that fosters connection, trust, and relaxation between partners. Sensual massage is more than just physical act. All right, it's way more. We got to get into it, right? It's an opportunity to explore each other's bodies, communicate desires, and deepen your emotional bond. All right. So fellas, in this sensual massage on day two, you know how we get. We can't rush through the massage. Ladies, take your time to explore. Take this time to have communication, laugh, and talk about things that you like. Let's speak about the desires, right? Mm-hmm. We don't want to lose sight of things. We don't want to start being monotonous in our relationships, right? Especially our sensual parts of our relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Because we got to keep that alive, keep that spicy. But at the same time, we want to be able to cater to each other. One of my favorite songs is Destiny's Child, Cater to You. Mm-hmm. I sent that to you the other day, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah. Love that song, right? So this sensual massage, we're going to make sure that we're taking our time, we're having fun, we're in a clear headspace. We're going to go into this thing with meaningful intent, okay? And the intent is to relax your person, have a good time, and be able to talk about deep desires. And this doesn't mean that everything we talk about is desires about sex, right? This is an opportunity to talk about all your desires, mm-hmm. okay? It's a quiet time, mm-hmm. right? So day two, mm-hmm. sensual massage. Yep. All right. Shout out to our couple. Can't give no names, nope. But the next day I got a call. I'm like, man, I don't know what y'all said to him. Right? I'm like, well, you were there. You heard we said to him. But man, I'm getting kissed on, rubbed on. And I'm like, fool, that's because she on day two. Right. So at the end of the day, this is a cool book. Y'all got to dive into it. Audacious Intimacy. It is, and you may not be able to follow along with it every day, but mm-hmm. you want to use each one of these steps, mm-hmm. Each one of them. So if day two comes a week later, that's cool. Mm-hmm. All right. You do day two when you get to day two, right? But anyway, what?
I will say I want you to commit to it. If you're mm-hmm. gonna do it, commit to it and make every effort every day to do something in this book, and preferably in order, because it's in that order for a reason.
And that's why I said if day two comes a few days later,
yeah, that's fine.
Don't bounce around because everybody want to get to chapter 29.
Don't worry about chapter
29.
Worry about chapter 1.
Right.
Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4.
Yes.
You guys, if you are on TikTok, you can go to the TikTok shop and buy the book. Mm-hmm. If you are on Facebook or any of our other platforms, or even on TikTok, you can go to lovejonescoaching.com. And you can buy the book there. Also, you can go to Love Jones Coaching. Hit that R right there. That little one. The little one. It didn't do anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like Restream. This will be the last time.
No, don't say you don't like it. We're trying to learn Restream. No, it's not the last time we use Restream. we're gonna see how it does. You know, we'll figure this thing out. We're trying to keep y'all on one streaming platform, but shoot, man, we got phones.
We
Phone's
do.
about to die, but shoot, it's still
It's always
Right.
about, you got 22. I got 12, you got 20. So here's some homework. Okay.
How many we gonna give them?
I say let's give them 1 or 2.
Do 2.
2.
All right.
Okay, so
Well, no, go to 3.
okay,
All
yeah.
right, go ahead.
I like 3.
Mhm.
So in terms of understanding trust, I want you to be able to describe a specific instance when
Spit
you.
it out, Junior.
All right. What is happening? Oh,
Okay.
okay. Go on and read, baby. I don't know what this is.
No, it's fine. It's just
Okay.
saying it'll end in
All
a
right.
few minutes. We got time. Go.
Can you describe a specific instance when you felt trust was broken in your relationship?
Mhm.
And so when we're thinking about that, what does trust mean to you and your person, and how do you express it in your relationship? And then how do you feel when you think about trusting each other? So that's under understanding trust. The second thing that we want you guys to think about is communication styles.
Mhm.
So how do you typically communicate what you need and your feelings for each other? And can you identify any patterns in the way that you communicate that lead to misunderstandings or conflict or something like that? And then what do you think prevents you from fully expressing yourselves to each other? Like it's something that's holding you back. What is that?
So the last one, emotional safety, which is very, very, very important. That's why I was like, just go ahead and throw that one in. Do you feel safe expressing your thoughts and feelings with each other? Why or why not? And this is one of those things where y'all really gotta leave your world behind and literally go into your partner's world, right? To hear them completely. And don't start that conversation until you're completely ready to hear your person, okay? Because they need to be able to express to you why they have a hard time communicating with you or feeling safe with expressing things to you, right? So make sure you're ready for that. What can you do to create a more supportive environment for opening communication? Dude, we cannot win without communication.
Yes.
I could not win without proper communication, right? And we all can do it. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
We all know how to communicate. You go to work and you communicate with your coworkers, with your boss, with your clients, with whoever. Whatever your job description is, you are communicating.
Right.
And you have to be a great communicator to be able to move forward and advance. So we all know how to communicate. Pooh! I saw him, they were gonna call him out while he was coming in. So at the end of the day, you know, we have to understand how we can reach each other safely. We gotta give. We gotta give each other a safe space to be able to say what's needed for us to move forward.
Yeah.
Right? So these batteries are dying, and we only got a few minutes left on TikTok. But man, babe, I think this was another dope episode.
I think so. I think so
too. Y'all let us know what you think.
Please let us know what you think. Please, we have.
And do your damn homework.
Do your homework. Buy the book. Buy the book. Buy the book. Buy the book.
Yes.
It is available on Amazon. It's available at lovejonescoaching.com. It's available on my TikTok shop.
Or pick up the phone and call a brother.
Yeah, or call.
Those who know how to reach me.
I have to say, I'm very excited. If you are in the Nashville area, next Saturday, I will be participating in the Win Her conference. So I have some books there available, but it is a dynamic group of women who are coming together to talk about, you know, how you can have the relationships that people want.
Right.
I guess people want to know my cheat code because I got me one with you, baby.
She just nasty.
I got
That's all it is.
But thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
On Facebook, thank you for tuning in. On TikTok, thank you for tuning in. On YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Haven't gone to Instagram yet. Still, I might at some point.
We will.
I hadn't done that yet, but thank you guys for your support. We are here to support you. We want people to have healthy, authentic, honest transparent, joyful relationships. You know, we have joy and peace in our house, and we don't believe that it's something that's just unique to us and something that other people can't have. So if you are struggling to find that type of peaceful environment in your home, give us a call. We're here. We want you to be able to have it too. All right. So with that,
Man, we are
we
out.
are out.
This is another Jones experience.
Jones did.
Jones did. So now let us know. Give us the comments, y'all. We need it. We appreciate y'all. What it do, Stokey Stokes? What it do? What it do? Man, we appreciate all this love, y'all. Trust me. You know, it's been a lot of work put into it as far as preparing all of this. My relationship isn't work, but this has been fun work. You know, doing this. I never thought that I would do nothing like this, man. It's been a cool journey. I got my cool co-pilot, you know, and that means so much. But anyway, we are out until next Sunday. Is it next Sunday?
Yeah, next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just making sure we don't have nothing on the calendar.
No.
Until next Sunday, 7:30, y'all tune back in, and we actually made it. It is literally 1 hour.
Yep.
Boom.
Bam.
All right, y'all. Peace.
That one.